Nightmare on Elm Street isn't the best horror movie of the 80s, but it is possibly the most popular. And who knew that a guy who killed kids would be the most popular monster since Dracula donned the cape? But at the end, I will give you the reason why, as great as he has never been one of my favorites. It was made by horror legend Wes Craven, who based his tale on the real-life story of a kid who complained about horrible nightmares. After staying awake for days, he finally passed out from exhaustion and died of fright in his sleep. Freddy is an icon, or at least he was at first, before he became something he never should have been. But that's for later. The power of the film is its implications. Everyone sleeps. Some, like myself, don't sleep much, but we all have to sleep eventually. Freddy can only kill you in your sleep, but everybody has to sleep no matter what. You either die of lack of sleep, or you have to take your chances with Freddy. In the end, you can't escape him. It's the ultimate rock in a hard place scenario. The dream sequences would get more elaborate in further films than the ones that are here, which are much simpler. But to me, that makes them more powerful and realistic. Most of us don't have really weird, otherworldly dreams. Most of us have dreams that are mostly realistic, but which have a taste of the magical in them. Most dreams you're not sure if you're dreaming or if it's real. When things go really weird, you can say, man, this is crazy. I must be dreaming. But if the dream has a basis in reality, like most of the scenes in this film, then it's harder to tell the difference. The line between reality and dreams is so fluid, you're not sure where one starts and another begins. For my money, Nancy is my favorite final girl of all time. Yes, Laurie Strode is technically number one because she's been in more films and was more influential. But Nancy has always been my favorite. For one thing, for a scream queen, she doesn't scream all that much. Nancy doesn't run away from trouble, she runs to it. And she even plans ahead with traps. It's not that she's not afraid, she just refuses to let the fear consume her. And by the way, she's a babe. Heather Langenkamp is a beautiful woman, and I always had a crush on her when I was a kid. Now for Freddy himself. In this film, he's the perfect representation of the archetypical boogeyman, that creature who haunts and torments kids. In this film, Craven wisely kept him mostly in the shadows. As far as I'm concerned, Robert Englund is Freddy Krueger, period. Just see that one film without him to see how bad things could get. But unfortunately, some genius decided to turn Freddy into a dark comedian, a terrible idea that later ruined the character. And with his corny one-liners, he became impossible to take seriously anymore. Englund is always great as a character, and he does what he can with the crappy lines he's given. But in the end, Freddy became a joke and an unfunny one. Freddy's dead, anyone? I admit that part of this, though, is probably because I generally prefer guys who just shut up and get the job done, which is probably why I prefer Jason and Michael. Regardless, though, this film is a classic, and I agree that even though he's not completely my cup of tea, I think Freddy deserves his status as a horror icon. Oh, one more thing. I love how Freddy's defeated, not with the gory death, but with psychology. Nancy realizes that Freddy gets all his power from the fear and belief of the people he kills, so she simply decides to refuse to believe in him, defeating him not with brawn, but with her intelligence. I know how hard it is to get 1,000 subscribers, so I'm making an announcement here to finish off. Every time someone gives me a comment or shows me that they've subscribed, I promise I will look at your channel too. I won't promise I'll subscribe, but I will give it a fair hearing and look at it. And who knows, I may even endorse your channel like I did with my friend Sakushi Kawai. See you later on the Hillbilly Review channel.